My name is Chris Kelly, and allow me to welcome you to the Lean Body Blueprint. This presentation is based upon over 10 years of my experience in training people from every goal that you can imagine, from small weight loss goals to weddings to bigger competitions. And what I've found with all of these individuals is that their success or their failure comes down to a few simple principles. What I want the viewers of this presentation to realize is that health and nutrition does not have to take hours per day. It doesn't take much thought. It's something that can be very simple, and even if you only have 10 minutes per day, it's absolutely scalable in your life. It's something that can be easily incorporated and something that you don't have to think too much about. And this is what we'll cover in our presentation today. Now, to begin, I always like to take an overview of The Biggest Loser. And what I really like about this show is that the people in this show have made incredible transformations and inspired incredible transformations throughout the country and the world. I mean, there is no denying that, the picture down there on the left is extremely dramatic. People are much fitter as a result of doing this program, and I believe it's, each contestant loses between, I think the statistic is 13 to 52% of body mass throughout this program, and the show is 12 weeks. So if we're looking at that, we're thinking, that's probably for 300 plus pound people, that's over 100 pounds probably in the span of 12 weeks, and that is certainly dramatic and certainly inspiring. The thing I want you to consider, though, about The Biggest Loser is this always an accurate portrayal of what happens in real life? We see this dramatic change from this person on the left here to this person on the right, okay? And this is a 12-week transformation because this person was in the program for 12 weeks. But my question is, what happens afterwards, all right? Where's this person 2 years from now, 5 years from now? And how do we address the factors that really don't come into play during the show? I mean, in reality, with The Biggest Loser, contestants are exercising literally all day. They're being paid to be there. They're having their meals made for them. And when we take away these support mechanisms and we go back to normal life, how does this person maintain these things? I mean, if you really consider why this person got to this picture on the left in the first place, there are probably multiple disconnects to a healthy lifestyle. There might be some psychological issues there as well, such as the way the person sees himself, or maybe something that happened in their life. So to go from the picture on the left to the picture on the right in this period of time is an amazing transformation. But the key with any program is, how do we keep it off 5 years from now, 10 years from now? And that's really what I want to address, is not how do we get it off in this period of time, because really that's easy. You can always go on a crash diet and make that happen. But how can you keep it off and be successful within the constraints of your busy lifestyle? Now, really, in order to understand where I'm coming from this, it's important to know a few facts about The Biggest Loser. The Biggest Loser is a program that runs for 12 weeks, and each contestant loses between 13 to 52% of overall body mass. Okay, no denying that's incredible. Contestants exercise an average of 8 to 12 hours per day, and they're paid a stipend for being there. Along with being placed on a stringent diet, contestants are also provided counseling services throughout the show. And there have been a couple times where I've been watching the show and I've seen a client freak out, or maybe they have sort of a binge or whatever it may be. There are people that they can go talk to address those things. And when we look at some of these weight loss clinics and these more expensive weight loss programs where people go to make similar transformations, all of these elements exist. So no doubt that it's a very effective mechanism. But now, how do we set up these mechanisms in our own life in a more simplified way that can fit into our current lifestyle? So when we're looking at then and now with The Biggest Loser, just as a kind of an overall snapshot of what we're dealing with here, the one statistic that I want you to pay attention to here is Ryan Benson. Ryan Benson was the winner of the first Biggest Loser, okay, back in 2002. All right, and I believe this article that I pulled this information from came from 2012. So we're looking at a 10-year chunk of real estate there. Ryan started at 330, he ended at 208, and now he's back at 330 again. So as you see, as time goes on, with a lot of people, what happens is that the weight just starts to creep back on. You might go on an Atkins diet, you might go on some dramatic boot camp program or whatever it may be, and you can absolutely get the weight off. But if you don't address the factors that are behind those things, or you don't make it scalable for your life, then either you hate life, you're waking up at 6 a.m. and eating egg whites, or you simply revert to your old habits. So the question becomes, how can we address these things without changing everything about your life, right? And that's what I want for you, is to make change gradual, to make change scalable for your life without having to upset the apple cart and thinking about it all the time. Basically, I don't want this to suck for you. So the reasons why diet and exercise fail in the first place, sort of the big rocks that I've found in my own career, is that number one, the perception that workouts take too long. People are very busy in their lives today, certainly more now than ever, okay? And they just don't have time to get to the gym for 60 minutes. Or maybe in their mind they think, if I don't work out for 60 minutes, then I shouldn't do it at all because I'm not getting a good workout. Oftentimes, you have multiple meetings throughout the day, and you just don't have time to necessarily, change clothes, go to the gym, okay? Or you get done with work and you're so tired that there's just no time to do that. What this leads to, in my experience, is what I call reactive eating, okay? Where, you haven't really planned for anything, and therefore, you're in an airport, you pick up a bagel just because it's around, or there are donuts in the office, and you do the same thing. And, it does take a little bit of thought, really, to be successful with that. But the bottom line is, if you don't, these are some things that happen. In terms of support, oftentimes, if you're not working out, all right, and you're not surrounding yourself with people that share similar goals, okay, we often are kind of pushed away from that. There's really no onus or push to get in better shape, right? And even if you want to change, all right, if all of the factors around you are kind of pointing in a different direction, then that's not necessarily the direction you're going to be going in either. So what I often recommend for people, and I'll ask them, what were you doing when you were in the best shape of your life, or what was something that you maybe enjoyed as a kid? And if you join a running club because it's something that you actually enjoy, immediately you're going to find people that share your interests, that are health oriented, and that these become your support system to understand that, working out isn't necessarily boring if you figure out a way to do it that stimulates you. And finally, something that I think all people, regardless of, whether you're trying to start exercising again or you're currently doing it, could benefit from, is just improved self-care. All right. The reality is, if you're not getting sleep, or you put yourself in a stressful environment, you're not putting yourself in the best environment to be successful at all. The body responds to stress, whether it be working out or being in a stressful environment, the same way. We only have a limited number of resources to defend and renew ourselves, all right? And once those are used up by being in an office full of unsupportive people all day or being in stressful situations, all right, we become burnt out by anything. So exercise seems harder. We succumb to things like depression, all right? And again, this is all amplified by a lack of sleep, all right? So while I'm not saying quit your job, change your entire life, what I am saying is by minimizing stressful situations and getting 8 hours of sleep or more, you're going to set yourself up for success with your mind as well. So when it comes to making this stuff scalable for your life, let's talk about the most important step first, writing things down. What I want you to think about is, what can you achieve in 30 days that is realistic for you? All right, this needs to be something that is manageable within your current lifestyle, something that is realistic for you and is supported by your interests. So if you enjoy running, but you work every day until 6 at night and you have a family, it might not be realistic to say, okay, I want to run a half marathon in the first 30 days. But what you can do is you can work on getting back to your 5K by running for 30 minutes a day. Okay, or say weight loss is your goal. Okay, maybe it's not realistic with that schedule to say I'm going to lose 15 pounds of fat this month, but it's probably realistic to say, okay, I'll make some simple changes and I'll lose 1 to 3. Okay, or even something as simple as saying I'm going to take 10 minutes a day and I'm going to work out. Okay, I'm going to set a clock for 10 minutes and I'm going to do a circuit, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do that extremely effectively. But the bottom line is, it's something that you don't have to think too much about. You can write it down, you can look at it every day, and you can say, I have confidence that I can do this. It's not too much for you, and it's not something that you feel defeated by. The whole idea with this program is I want you to get away from feeling overwhelmed. Okay, and with this, I think that that's possible. The other part is we oftentimes have habits that are keeping us from where we want to be. And what I ask my clients to do is I'll say, look, I want you to write down all the things that you feel are keeping you from where you want to be with your body right now. Okay, and they might write down things like I drink sodas all day. Okay, or maybe I graze on food. Perhaps I'm an erratic exerciser, or I'm too tired at the end of the day to get my workout in. Whatever it may be, what I want you to think about is what can you change now? What is the easiest thing to change without, really thinking about it or upsetting your life? If you drink 6 sodas a day, for example, rather than saying, oh, I'm going to cut out all the sodas that I drank, say, okay, maybe I'll go from 6 sodas to 3 sodas a day. All right. So again, it's just you make a small, simple change and you chip away at that. All right, and by working on this simple habit, you write down your goal, you write down your habit. These should be things that are almost stupidly simple. All right, and if you achieve these easier things in your first month, then you'll have kind of built that foundation and you'll be ready to step it up a little bit each month. Okay, so some ideas, other ideas that I have: schedule my meals on Sunday, exercise consistently. Just a simple thing that fits into your current lifestyle. So some criteria for that. Number one is that it's manageable with your current lifestyle. It's supported by your interests, meaning, if you like to run, maybe you train for a 5K. Or if you like to climb, maybe you work out and then on the weekends you go to a rock climbing gym. And number three, you find friends that support that idea. You could, if you're a cyclist and you don't have anybody that you can do that with, you could even plan your rides out, find a Facebook group that addresses cycling and post your times in there. The bottom line is there's always a way to do it. The beauty of the internet is we're given access to so many resources. We just have to use them, okay, and understand how. And for habits, your choice should be the easiest thing to change now, okay? I don't want it to be overly ambitious. In fact, I want it to be almost too easy, okay? And I want it to be a 9 out of 10 in terms of your follow through. So if you think that it's too hard to do, it probably is, all right? Pick something that is so easy that it's almost like a yawn to you, okay? And then the next month, you can step things up a little bit and build on that progress. So as a quick recap, we want to make sure it's time sensible, manageable, and friend supported. And what I'll also say is we want to choose a goal that is going to be either performance or aesthetically related. I like performance goals such as running a 5K, maybe improving how many push-ups you can do in 30 seconds, or something that involves physical performance first, because we don't necessarily have to address nutrition with those things. In the beginning, we're making a big change by just starting to incorporate this stuff back in. So if you're not doing anything at the moment, I would definitely recommend choosing something that has to do with performance. Now, if you're already exercising or you've already started dieting, then an aesthetic goal is probably more realistic. An aesthetic involves changing your diet and changing your workout, or changing the way that you work out as well. So that could be something like doing before and after pictures, losing 5 pounds, maybe fitting better into a dress. But the bottom line is pick whatever is more realistic for you based upon where you are currently. Okay, and then once you kind of have the exercise part of it down, then you can start to incorporate nutrition and move towards that aesthetic goal. So this leads us to our second step, fitting exercise into your life. All right, and this is kind of based upon the idea that a good workout takes 60 minutes or more, and that's simply not true. My promise for you is that if you set aside 10 minutes per day, you can give yourself just as good of a workout as you could in 60 minutes. The bottom line is you have to pack as much intensity into that 10 minutes as physically possible. You have to go as hard as you can, and you have to try to improve with each time that you do it. If you do that, if you work really, really hard, that really is the key to physical change. All right? In order to make that happen, I want you to choose a time that you can do this without any distraction. Meaning, I don't want you checking your phone, I don't want you, accessing Facebook or checking an email or stopping to talk to somebody while you're doing your workout. So I found that the first thing in the morning or the last thing at night is usually the best time to do it, because that's the time when, it's kind of your time. It's before you have to, go to your job or whatever it may be. And if you don't have that luxury, what I also recommend, pencil in your workout just like a meeting. So say you do have only 30 to 45 minutes between appointments. Pencil in your workout between those times. Find a room, bust it out, and you're done. It might not be the best solution, but it's what you could do that day. And the bottom line is you got something in. And that's really our goal with this. Number two is nutrition. Okay, and this might be something that you choose to incorporate initially or not, but we are going to provide you a simple approach to do so. And with this, what I like is rather than saying, okay, here's a meal plan, follow this, I'm going to tell you, look, here is a simple shopping list, and here's a flexible meal template. So for breakfast, I want you to have one protein from this list and one carbohydrate from this list. And what you do is you simply plug it in based upon what your taste buds desire. So let's take a look at that. Number one, we have our time-efficient workouts, all right? And what I've done is included a circuit fitness test right after this video. So after you get done, I want you to take our 10-minute workout test, understand the power of 10-minute workouts, and see how well you do. The goal is to improve your performance, okay? And in our circuit test, what I do is I give you 3 exercises that I ask you to perform back-to-back for, I believe it's 8 reps each. The goal is to repeat those 3 things as many times as possible in a period of 10 minutes. So if I get 3 rounds of those 3 things in 10 minutes, that's my baseline. But if I can get 6 or 7 rounds a few days later, I'm in better shape already because I've packed more work into the same amount of time. And it's the same idea with intervals. The only difference is that I might say, okay, I'm going to do push-ups for 30 seconds and squats for 30 seconds. I might get 15 squats and 12 push-ups in the first 2 minutes. For the second 2 minutes, and we would just repeat those 2 things back to back until we got to that 10-minute period, would be, okay, my goal is to score more than that. I want to get 17 squats and maybe 15 push-ups. And if you're improving the number that you can do in that amount of time, you've already gotten better. So the goal is that we score this and we see improvements in our performance. As for nutrition, we just give you a simple shopping list and we ask you to choose just 3 things. So for example, if you like lean red meat, protein powder, and cottage cheese, then those are your proteins for the week. Delete the rest of the stuff off the list and buy those things. Okay, and the same goes for veggies, fats, and drinks. And from there, you're simply going to plug them in. So with our flexible meal template, we just give you a program like this where we say breakfast, I want you to have a protein and a vegetable. Okay, it could be whatever you want, but it comes from your list and it comes from what you shot for that day or for that week. For lunch, it's the same thing, and for dinner, it's the same thing. You can plug in different things, but it's the same basic configuration. Now, with that, what I recommend is planning ahead on Sundays. I like to call it Sunday Fun Day. You do your shopping, maybe you plan your meals out, and what I advise is maybe plan out maybe 3 meals that you enjoy. All right, these are things that are easily accessible that you can prepare for the week, and you can kind of just dish out so you're not scrambling around to eat. Okay, and if you eat at work or maybe you're traveling, look at the menus of the things that are around you and think about, okay, what are some choices that might fit the bill here? And with our final solution step, what I want you to do is find somebody to hold you accountable. There have been studies done that say if you tell somebody you're going to do something, you're 75% more likely to go through with that goal. All right, and that simply comes down to choosing a teammate. What I like to do in our gym is I'll pair people up and I'll say, when you get done with your 10-minute circuit, text your partner and let them know, here's how I did today. Okay, what we also do is invite you to a closed Facebook group where you can meet all of the people that are doing the same thing, and you can meet workout buddies and post your scores. But let's say you don't have anybody that would do that with you in your life currently. What you can also do is use Facebook as a tremendous resource to reach out to people that share your interests. So say you're interested in a cycling group, okay, or cycling, and your goal is you're training for a triathlon, or say you're simply doing a Couch to 5K program. Do a Facebook search on Couch to 5K or cycling, okay, and you will absolutely find groups that really cater to that specific thing. Post in the group and ask them, hey, I'm looking for just a workout buddy. I'm on week 2 of my Couch to 5K. I'm looking for a workout buddy that I can maybe message back and forth with to let them know what I'm doing and kind of get feedback. There are a ton of people that would fill that role, and there are people like that in our group as well. The bottom line is technology allows us a tremendous way to connect to people that allow us to connect to people that share our specific goals, okay? And it doesn't matter if they're in Nome, Alaska, or if they're, in Tampa, Florida. It's not a big deal. You can find them anywhere, and that allows you to build your personal support network without necessarily ever seeing these people. And maybe once a week, you talk to your partner and you say, okay, we're going to Skype and we're going to talk about how we did this week, or maybe you text one another. But the bottom line is, together, you have that support network and you have somebody to bounce ideas off of. So that leads us to our challenge. All right, my challenge for you is this. I want you to take our 10-minute circuit test after this video, understand the power of our 10-minute workout, and sign up for our program. All right, I want you to take our 10-minute workout. I want you to do our 10-minute workout for a period of 30 days. I want that to be your goal. I want you to challenge yourself to do that and post your scores in our group. All right, even if you don't post every day, if you do our 10-minute workout for 30 days, I guarantee you that this will start to incorporate exercise and fitness back into your life. They say it takes 21 days to form a habit, so with the 30-day idea, we're going a little bit above and beyond. I also want you to choose a habit to work on. Okay, and again, it needs to be a 9 out of 10 in terms of your willingness to do it. Something that's pretty easy, something that you can crush, and something that you write down. Okay, so you'll say, my goal is to do the 10-minute circuit for 30 days and to work on my habit. Finally, choose a workout buddy. Okay, somebody that you can state these goals to. All right, post your goals in our group on day one. All right, you'll see that there will be a ton of people that will post comments, that will congratulate you, that will support you, and hold you accountable. But bottom line, find somebody that shares these things or that you could talk to that will help you to stay on track. And finally, if you do post in our group, okay, a total of 30 posts that have to do with that involve your scores, okay, 30 days of saying, okay, this is what I did today. All right, you receive a Peak Fitness Challenge Survivor t-shirt. So the t-shirt is for those that are consistent, because it signifies the fact that you have started your journey. All right, you've accepted the challenge and you've met the challenge. All right, and I'm excited for you to do that. We have moderators in our group that keep track of that stuff. I would also encourage you to keep a workout log. Also, a lot of people will take a picture of their workout log and post it kind of as their confirmation. But again, allow me to welcome you to our program, and again, just choose what is relevant for you. So an example. My habit for this cycle is I want to cut my sodas down to 1 per day. My workout goal or buddy is Chris Kelly. So I am working with myself, and my goal is to post for 30 days. Make sure your goal and your habit is a 9 out of 10. Make sure your workout buddy shares some basic goals that you have as well. And some possible other goals that you could set for yourself thereafter are either performance related, like running a 5K or performing in an athletic event, or aesthetic, which is like losing weight or toning in a certain area. Just make sure, whatever it is, these things are going to be measurable. So allow me to welcome you to our family. What I want you to do now is I want you to take our circuit test, kind of see where you are there, sign up for our program. You'll be invited to our Facebook group where you can ask me questions and interact directly, and allow me to welcome you to our family.